So I think the $1 million question is, what do you want? Like, really, what do you want? Are you desiring big business? You desiring little business? Are you at a point to where you like, I need to build, my dream business? And if you want to build your dream business, what is that dream business, if you will? And why do you think that your dream business is going to be successful? Again, what do you want? I think that most people kind of end up becoming probably, I guess I'm going to use a strong word in this particular instance. I'm going to sit and say a lot of individuals actually become delusional when it comes to business or a desire with regards to business, because what most individuals end up doing is they do things that they like they take a hobby and they, and taking that hobby because it's something that they like or something that they enjoy, they, figure that they're going to be able to do whatever that is better than everyone else. And so therefore their thing is going to actually blow up and take off. And so I guess the thing that you want to kind of sit and think about as a whole is, maybe the fact is that whatever your desire is, whatever your desired business is, it's something that you should actually establish after after you have essentially set up some type of base, some type of floor, or foundation, if you will. I think that that's, kind of what individuals actually have to sit and really process, is that once you do the things that's necessary to actually establish a base or establish a floor, then from establishing that base and establishing that floor, you then can actually start to be at a point of developing whatever it is business-wise that you that may essentially be a hobby or whatever it is. So like I get a lot of individuals that reach out to me with regards to them starting their own clothing line. I get a lot of people that are in music that reach out to me with regards to them starting, their own record labels or being artists and looking to progress forward in that vein, if you will. And one of the things that I, sit and try to describe to individuals is that it's great that you want to be in business doing the thing that you love or enjoy doing. But the thing that you kind of have to bear in mind with everything as a whole is that sometimes it's actually more ideal, again, to establish a base. Once you have a base, then that means that at that stage, it then becomes a hell of a lot easier to really fund the thing that you enjoy doing. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's one of the biggest myths that individuals have as a whole is they start look to start a business that they have a love or a passion for. And so here's another reason why I'm describing this is that in starting these types of businesses that you quote unquote love, you have a passion for, then you treat it like it was your child. You know what I'm saying? And when you treat it like it's your child, then the problem is that businesses are created, businesses are developed and purchased in order to be able to sell. So when you develop a business, you're developing it to sell. You're not developing it for it to be a part of your family for the rest of your damn life. And I think, again, that's one of the biggest issues that entrepreneurs actually have, is that they go into business treating business like it was their child. and you should not be at a stage of treating business like it's your child. Business is a vehicle in order to be able to use as a catapult. You start one business, and that business might be at a smaller level. Then effectively you sell that business, buy another business, if you will, that's at a larger level, if you will, and you continue to level up. That is how you're actually supposed to function and operate in business. And then if by chance you sit and you develop some type of business that you have a passion for, then that business itself, again, you have to bear in mind that passion one day could cause you to make improper decisions. For instance, the guys that actually that owned or own, maybe still own Snapchat, they were offered a lot of money in order to be able to sell Snapchat. And because Snapchat was their baby, they turned that money down. And unfortunately, in turning that money down, that was their peak. And, the problem or the issue that happened or came into play is that since that time, the stock value of the company, the value itself of the company, I should say, has since plummeted. But again, the reason why they turned it down was because Snapchat was their baby. So all I'm sitting and describing to you all, at this particular point is that if you're actually going to be successful in business, you're going to be successful in life, then the first thing that you've got to determine is, one, what do you want? What do you actually really want? Is it big business? Is it little business? Do you want to just be self-employed for the rest of your life? And you have to understand what self-employed is that those people that sit and feel like they have businesses, but their business won't go. If they're not in play, then that means that you are self-employed. You own a job. Again, it's a part of being logical with everything. I decided that I wanted to be on my empire building. And so that's what I've consistently worked to do in my life is to be an empire builder. And so when individuals became a part of the 500, the thing that I've worked diligently to kind of push everyone that's within the 500 towards empire building and having the sound mind that is necessary in order to be able to actually build, massive corporate entities and so on and so forth. The very first base is the base in the development of your ability to be able to trade in an automated capacity. And why is that the base? It's the base because the key is having something that works for you coming right out the rip. And if you're at a point to where you're having to manually execute trades on a regular basis, if you will, then that is nothing more, nothing less than a job. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so now when you understand that, okay, manual trading is a job or another job, if you will, and you already have a job, then, now you've put yourself in a point to where you are essentially, working two, equations. Now, had you been at a point to where you had taken and instead of sitting and saying, I'm going to do manual trading, you sat and said, I'm going to take the time to learn how to program automated structures, if you will, the thing that would have happened is that though it may take you a little time to get to the point to where you completely understand automated trading, what would eventually happen with you is that you would have things programmed in a manner to where you could then be at a point of actually walking away from the automated trading system and allow for it to just work for you, if you will. So that's the key, area, the key component to actually progressing forward and building, a massive business. I mean, again, we have to be very much so about empire building, as a whole. So I'm going to pose the question that I posed at the top of the conversation. What is it that you want? Like, what is it that you really want? Yes, for those of you all that are trying to figure out what page I'm on, I am on bizbuysell.com. bizbuysell.com. And the reason why I'm on bizbuysell.com is that I decided to go ahead and redirect my focus on doing what it is that I've been doing for, the longest, if you will, which is find smaller businesses, buy those businesses that are already cash flowing, if you will, take the cash flow from those businesses, run the cash flow through my trading, component, if you will, and then effectively from there, continue to build both my personal credit as well as my business credit as a whole, and continue to slosh things around in that vein. So I kind of moved to a point of, I guess for lack of better terms, I must sit and say agitation when it came to what I've been doing with you all by way of going live with you every day and, sitting and pushing out different, IG posts and so on and so forth. These things I've been doing because I've been at a point where I genuinely wanted to see other people progress forward. I genuinely wanted to see, individuals really start to take life and business to a whole nother level, if you will. I figured the only way to really change things in our world, is through unification and, the cultivation of capital for, not the people that are already at a stage where they got money, but for the people that may essentially be middle class, or people that may even be poor, to be able to help provide knowledge, to be able to help expand those individuals, if you will. But obviously, as most of you all already know, as of late, it's just been real trying kind of dealing with people, and when you put yourself out there, to really work to help individuals, and for all intents and purposes, they just, they don't function right. They don't do the things that they're supposed to do. It becomes very disheartening and disappointing, for lack of better terms. So, again, I've, kind of shifted, my own focus, as I've sat and I've spoken to my team, I'm like, those members that are of 500, will eventually get everything situated to where those that want to be a part of the trust, they can, effectively be a part of the trust. Those that don't, that's fine as well. But my focus is going to shift back to the thing that I've been sitting and preaching to you all along, which is build out your credit base, build out your corporate acquisition, take the capital from that, area, and continue to buy up, businesses, if you will. Individuals, I've expressed before, the fact that, right now I'm up to 136 corporations that, that I own. And, the thing that a lot of individuals miss, is the fact that a lot of these corporations are these smaller, businesses, if you will. So for instance, I'll, go in, I'm going to actually reach out to this particular company tomorrow. As you can see, they're asking for $125,000, and they have $75,000 of a cash flow base. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is with them is see what their employment base is right now. So the thing is they don't have the employees to be able to substantiate the business, then I'm not interested. Meaning if there's only like one or two employees, then I wouldn't actually even reach out to them. So in this particular instance, they've got 3 employees. And so 3 employees, I would assume that one of them would actually be the manager itself. And so with that being the case, the very first thing that I would do is want to actually sit and have a conversation with the manager. I'm looking at the general breakdown of the equation as a whole. The lease price on the place is $2,900 a month. When I sit and I look at the bills on the place, this is saying that it has a cash flow of $75,000. $75,000 divided over 10 months puts me at $7,500 a month, give or take. So 12 months. So for the most part, I'm at about $7,000 of cash flow coming off of this particular business. So the very first thing that I look at with this business as a whole is when is all of the bills due. And so if I'm at a point, this is saying cash flow of 75,000. It doesn't necessarily mean that that is the profit, for the business. It just means the amount of cash that is coming through the business through the course of any year is what the cash flow could effectively be. And so if the average income is about $75,000, $75,000, or let's say $7,000 per month is the average income, then what I would be looking at first and foremost is to figure out whether or not, one, if they will provide owner financing for me. Because if they'll provide owner financing for me, that's even more of a reason for me to be able to progress forward with this particular business, if they'll provide owner financing. If they provide owner financing and they're asking $125,000 as a payment total, then that means that in all likelihood, the owner financing on this situation will probably be half of what the selling price is. So that means that I need to come to the table with, let's just say for sake of saying, about $60,000 is what I need to come to the table with. So I put $60,000 down on this particular business. It has a cash flow of $7,000 per month. What I'm now going to look at is to see how quickly is this the money that's coming in, how quickly is it going back out. You understand? So if I'm at a point where I'm able to take $7,000 in, let's just say for the sake of saying by the 5th of the month, but I don't have payroll until say the 20th of the month. I mean, I'm just using just different days right now to give you all an example. If that's the case, then what I do is between the 5th of the month and the 20th of the month, I would actually take the cash flow that is produced and move it into my trading account and trade the money during that time period, if you will, with a decent risk factor, reward factor in play. In all likelihood, putting myself in a position where I'm not going to lose any more than about 35% of the money itself. So very worst case scenario, I'm going to lose 35% of the income, which basically then means that I'm going to then, from my finance vehicle, I'm going to loan this business. If by chance we lose 35%, I'm going to loan this business 35% of that money, if you will. So that with interest. You all don't understand what I'm saying. If y'all actually understood what the hell I was sitting and saying right now, all of y'all would be paused right now on your typing. Y'all just busy typing in the whole nine, and as you typing, you're not actually listening to what it is that I'm sitting and saying. I'm really dropping on you right now how you actually go buy up a bunch of fucking businesses, if you will, with little to no money, use the cash flow to be able to trade this shit and turn around and utilize the profits from that particular situation and be able to buy up more businesses. So I would pause for a little second and actually really hear what I'm sitting and saying to you all, because this is going to be one of those few times, those that are not members of the 500, I'm actually structuring another portal right now. That'll be 500, a 500 portal that I'll start doing these calls through that portal versus sitting and doing these lives with individuals that aren't a part of the 500 Freemen. So what I'm saying to you is right now, this is one of those last times that I'm going to be at a point of going live, with everyone and really dropping this damn knowledge, on you guys. So I would definitely be at a stage right now for everybody that's on here. I would definitely be at a stage of actually listening and paying attention to what I'm sitting and talking about. So, again, what I'm doing is this business is asking for $125,000. I'm going to them and asking them if they have owner financing. If they'll do owner financing, in all likelihood, it'll be about half of what the asking price is. So that means that I need to come to the table with roughly about 70 some odd $1,000 in a downstroke situation, 60 to 70 some odd $1,000 of a downstroke. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 60,000. Let's just use $70,000. I need to come to the table with $70,000. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take $70,000 from one of my credit cards. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm actually going to finance the business with one of my credit cards. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not actually pulling cash out to acquire this business. I'm using credit in order to acquire the business. Now, in doing so, obviously there's an interest rate that's involved, if you will. So before I actually make the purchase of this business with one of my credit cards or one of my lines of credit, before I'm going to sit and ascertain how much I can be at a point of, again, generating per month so that I can make sure that I'm at a point to where I can service the debt. And I'm not looking to service the debt with the money, with the cash flow from the business. I'm looking to service the debt with the money that I can make off the cash flow. Meaning, if I'm taking the cash flow and I'm putting it in trading, then I now have to guesstimate how much money I'm going to make in trading, if you will, because remember, I'm risking 35% of the money, 35% of the cash flow. I'm risking that. Okay. So 35% of the cash flow in risk, but now with 35% at risk, then I have to determine how much money I'm actually going to make, off of that. And in making off of that, I need to make sure that obviously, one, I can pay the payroll, pay the rent and whatever the utility structure is that's associated with that. But in conjunction with that, I need to make sure that I can service the debt. So the whole goal is basically to be able to buy this business with two forms of credit. One, the credit from the actual owner, the owner that I'm buying it from. So I'm buying it with credit from them. And I'm buying it with credit from a credit card or buying it with credit from a line of credit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then I'm taking the money from the line of credit, I'm taking the money from the cash flow, I'm taking the money from the cash flow. I'm trading the money from the cash flow. I'm only risking 35% of that money with the goal at hand of being at a point of generating enough money to service the debt to pay the owner off and to service the debt to pay the credit card off. You understand what I'm saying? If by chance I lose 35% in trading, then what I will do is I'm actually going to loan from my finance business that I have. I'm going to loan this business money. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to actually physically loan this business money and charge it interest. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in doing so, if you will, I can actually structure a write-off equation, on any losses that's actually taking place from this particular business itself. So when it's all said and done, I could actually take this particular business, again, buy it with credit. If it's fruitful enough, I can actually take the cash flow from this business, cash flow from the money that's being traded, if you will, and if this business has business credit already, established business credit already, I can then go get credit cards and lines of credit on this particular business and then use all of that to go and buy the next business. I hope y'all understand what I just got finished sitting and saying. Yeah, I know I'm dropping shit on them, but it was funny because Pocky was sitting and saying to me, he said, "Bill, you be dropping so many fucking bombs on these fucking people, man." He's like, "It's ridiculous," and just the sheer fact of that, anybody that comes into my program and has the damn audacity, to be at a stage position of talking about something they didn't actually get any value, in my I'm just like just completely fucking blown away with people as a whole. But I told Pocky, I said, "Pocky, I dropped this information. I said, you know why I dropped this information? I said, because the vast majority of people won't actually complete everything that they're supposed to complete in order to, majority won't complete the stuff that they need to complete, that they're supposed to complete in order to use the damn information. So it don't even matter, because most people, won't even get an automated trading account. So it's fine. I said, listen, I told you all of this information in the whole nine, but without automated trading, this shit really don't work very well. You know what I'm saying? Without automated trading, you're at a, you're still manual in functionality. What I'm describing to you all right now is a way to be at a point of building business by just buying up businesses with credit, if you will, and then trading the capital in the business. You know what I'm saying? Consistently trading the capital in the business to be at a point of actually progressing forward. So, like, for instance, here's another business. So $250,000, it has $150,000 of cash flow, and it's already saying owner financing. So I don't even need to be at a point of actually asking them if they offer owner finance. They're already telling me they offer owner financing. So now what is this? It's a nursing home. Great. And that's the other thing. I could care less what kind of fucking business it is, because I don't plan on going to the damn business. I'll go one time to make sure that everything is sound solid the way I need for it to be, if you will. Thereafter, my management team that I build and develop, my internal management team, they will be the ones to effectively go and survey over all of the different businesses that I buy. So in this particular instance, again, this is $250,000. They're saying $150,000 of cash flow. Let me see how many employees they have in the nursing home business. I'm not sure if this includes real estate. If it includes real estate, great. If it doesn't include real estate, that's fine too. Okay, so this is saying real estate has a star on it. Okay, so the real estate is not included. So there'll be a mortgage or a rental situation that goes into this situation as a whole. Gross revenue, $200,000 gross revenue. Let's see, inventory, 5,000. Now, the big thing we've got to figure out is whether or not there's employees. Okay, so we got 4 employees. This is perfect. You understand what I'm saying? So now all I need to do is just go and survey the business itself, make sure that all of these other claims that they have here are on point. If all of these other claims are on point, then, literally we have a nursing home. They asking, $250,000 asking. So let's just say, for the sake of saying, they're going to be asking for half of that down. So it's $125,000. The reason why I was so animate about you all joining the 500 fucking Freemen, and then the 500 Freemen uniting collectively to actually get your credit situated so you can get your money together in the whole nine. The reason why I was so adamant about that is because if it's 10 of you all that's together, 10 500 fucking Freemen, 10 of you all together get all your credit situated, all of you all are sitting on 700, 800 credit scores, then all of you all turn around, go and get $30,000 in credit each. That means that now all of you all, collectively, you all have $300,000. $300,000, you go and you have this type of business where they asking $250, you know what I'm saying? But it's got a cash flow on the situation of $150,000. All of you all have your trading capability, if you will. So now you select one individual within the group, if you will, to trade the cash flow from this particular business, and you build the business credit out on this thing. Man, you out of here. You out of here. Do you know what I'm saying? You completely out of here. To verify the numbers, yes, you can actually ask for the tax filings that they have with regards to the verification. But one of the other areas, yes, without question, you can ask for tax returns. But one of the other areas, and bank statements and so on and so forth. But one of the other areas of verification of cash flow, or verification, of the numbers, is you just go in and you actually utilize simple logic with the business. You ever see what I'm saying? You utilize, I mean, in a lot of instances, people don't use simple logic because most people go and try to buy businesses and shit that they like, that they love, they enjoy, and all that other shit. And so you become blinded, you know what I'm saying, by the like and the enjoyment of the business itself. You become blinded. So you don't use simple logic. It's just like if this is a nursing home and I go in and I visit the nursing home, you know, one time, twice, whatever it is. And every time I go to the nursing home, there's only a few fucking people in the nursing home, but they sitting and telling me they make $150,000, you know, in cash flow each year. Then I'm going to sit and I'm going to be like, okay, certain shit don't logically add up. You know what I'm saying? Because now you know, so either one or two things is happening. Either one, you all done ran the business into the damn dirt, if you will, or two, you all have you've hyped your numbers on the situation, which is fine. You understand what I'm saying? Hear what I'm saying? It's fine, even if they hype their numbers, because the next part that I'm going to look at is the potential situation, because I know that most people are not very good fucking business owners. You understand what I'm saying? Most people don't know shit about marketing. Most people don't know shit about running a business and so on and so forth. So therefore, the only thing that I have to do is make sure that I have a sound team in play that's there in order to be able to handle certain things, and I can actually turn the revenue, you know, to the business up completely. You understand what I'm saying? I can, you know, that's literally the whole thing is that sometimes, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you're at a stage to where, you know, the people that actually, the people that run the business, they just not very good at it. You know, if you don't know how to market, you know what I'm saying? Well, how the hell you keep the business is difficult for the business to flourish. So just the fact that if I create a marketing department or I know how to market myself, this cash flow could actually go through the damn roof because I know how to market. You know what I'm saying? So these are just some things that you all want to sit and bear in mind. Okay, so Peter, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get out of a poverty mindset. Okay, that's it's major that you get out of a poverty mindset. Everybody needs to get out of poverty mindset. So the sheer fact that yes, you went and you borrowed $30,000 in lines of credit or $30,000 in credit cards or whatever have you. The only time that you're actually utilizing that credit is at the moment that you get ready to buy this business. You're not going to buy a business that doesn't cash flow. If the business doesn't cash flow, then you don't buy the business. If the business cash flow, then that means that you have a way to be able to service the debt. So therefore, you asking about an interest rate on credit it's asinine. But the truth of the matter is that it is a poverty mindset. I keep telling people all day long, like everyone that keeps trying to, you know, listen, man, I got some debt, I got credit cards and so on and so forth. I need to pay off these credit cards. You know, once I pay them down, man, and you know, I'm done. I don't want to get no more credit. And I'm like, well, shit, what you're saying is you want to be broke as fuck. You understand what I'm saying? You want to pay off your credit cards and shit. You get a lump sum of money. The first thing you do is pay off the credit cards. You dumb as fuck. What you do is you pay it down to a certain point so you can then go and apply for some more credit. You understand what I'm saying? You continue to apply for more credit and apply for more credit. That's the key. Why would cash flow be the salary for the dude that runs it? Cash flow is cash flow. Salary is salary. So it doesn't say salary of the dude that runs it. It says cash flow. You know what I'm saying? Cash flow means that the business generates this amount of money, you know, on average. That's literally what it means. You understand what I'm saying? So now whether the person whether the person that has this business, whether they usurp the capital, at the end of the month, so they take whatever money that comes, comes from it, if you will. I mean, that's something that you can figure out or find out once you go in and you start looking at the company's books, if you will. But again, cash flow is cash flow. Salary is salary, and that's the thing that we'll sit and we'll ascertain is that, okay, what is the salaries that's being paid through the course of this? And now let's just pretend hypothetically, based on what you're sitting and describing right now, let's pretend the fact that the guy that owns the business, let's pretend that guy is actually taking, the whatever monies off of the business. So we got 150, of annual cash flow. Let's just pretend that the guy that's running the business is taking home $3,000 a month. Let's just pretend. Okay, well, great. That just means now that I know that I've got $3,000 of capital that I can use to service the debt on the credit cards that I just that I used in order to acquire the business. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know I got $3,000 of capital that I can use. So it doesn't matter, whether it's the guy paying himself, or not, if you will. The only key thing is I don't want to buy a business that the manager is the person that's selling the business. I don't want that kind of business. I want a business to where the management is employees. Period, point blank. It's an employee-based business. The person that I'm buying the business from, maybe they're involved in it, some, or maybe they're absentee. I prefer to buy a business that has an absentee owner because I'm going to be an absentee owner. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and be at a stage of babysitting, a nursing home. So therefore, if the nursing home has already been running with an absentee owner, that makes it even better. So that's what I'm going for, as a whole. And again, I mean, I'm looking on BizBuySell, but you all have to understand there's a whole bunch of different business websites that are out there that that offer a whole bunch of information on different companies, as a whole. But again, it's the reason why I kept sitting and talking to everybody, about unification as a whole. Now, with all of you all, there becomes an area to where, as you progress forward as a whole, there are certain businesses that you'll be able to as a unit. Because one of the things that I was sitting and describing is if you have a unit of 10 and your unit of 10, you all started out and y'all got $30,000 credit cards each, and that's $300,000. And then what you all did was instead of going and buying a business right from gate, what you all did was you turned around and you expanded your credit even further. You know what I'm saying? You expand your credit even further. Then at that, at that stage, then what you'll end up doing is that instead of having 30,000 in credit, you all may end up getting to a point where each one of you all have $100,000 in credit, credit cards and so on and so forth, because you all consistently worked to be at a stage of actually expanding your credit. Now, this has absolutely nothing to do with the actual credit of the business itself. So the credit of the business itself is another area or another place where you can actually end up getting capital. And you can end up acquiring a business that has solid account receivables that have been in play for, whatever extended period of time, but it has solid account receivables. And if it has solid account receivables, then you can go in, acquire the business with on credit, and then go and turn around and actually use the account receivables to get a loan off of that and pay the actual owner of the business off with the account receivables that the business is already generating. Man, if y'all actually understood what the fuck I was talking about, man, y'all might actually be dangerous. Y'all might actually be dangerous if y'all really understood what the fuck I'm actually sitting here talking about. Might possibly be dangerous, but I think the fortunate thing, I've been sitting and I've been upset with just the functionality of a few people individuals that have entered into our program and haven't done with the things that they were supposed to do. Individuals that have entered in our program have been roguish, to say the least. I've been upset, with individuals as a whole. And, the thing that I expressed to you all before, that I had to sit and it serves purpose, in my own life, as that I realized that, every time something negative, something bad happens, there's a positive, on the other side of it as well. And so what you actually have to do is flip your mindset around to start to look at the positive side. So for me, the positive side said, hey, I've been sitting here and trying to focus on people that, don't have money, whatever the situation is. I've been trying to focus on, on other individuals and educate them and so on and so forth. And some people want it, some people don't want it or whatever have you. But what I realized was that it was like, yo, you need to focus, on yourself. You need to focus on building your, empire out. You offered individuals, automated trading software. Some individuals took advantage of it. Other individuals didn't take advantage of it, and at this particular point, or phase in life, Billion, what you got to do is just show them better than you can tell them, So for those people that actually want to, want to progress forward and grow, you help those people, what I'm saying? But start to focus in on your own shit, So essentially that's what I've done, is that I've spent the vast majority, of this week actually starting now the process of continuing to expand out, my own private equity entity, and expand out my group. I invited Pocky actually to be a part of our group, and he accepted being a part of our group. There's a couple other individuals that I think I'm going to sit and politic with to be a part of our group. But the thing that ended up happening that unfortunately a few bad apples, end up ruining the equation was the fact that I placed a bid on a hotel in Puerto Rico. That hotel was supposed to be a 500 Freeman property, if you will. But the minute that I started getting kickback from people in the sense of, which was really unique, kickback from individuals, with regards to policy changes and so on and so forth, for them to actually be able to participate in it. And again, I know it wasn't everybody, but it was enough people to help me realize that, like, yo, I have people in our program that I don't know. These people in our program I don't know. I don't know their ideology. I don't know their functionality. I don't know their thought process. And so it made me realize, okay, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and structure, an application process and an interview process, because I'm not about to enrich a bunch of people that, literally don't deserve to be enriched. And that's literally what these people, actually fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had one dude that, he literally went, fucking off the wall, about his little entry money, to enter into the program. As if, in any and everything that I do, I really, have some thought process of steering an individual wrong or trying to take from somebody, if you will. This dude went completely ape shit crazy, about his little entry money. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, sitting and politicking with Pocky, and T. Schmidt, they both was like, yo, Billion, when you dealing with low budget, individuals, you got to realize that you gonna get that low budget attitude. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, you got this hotel, the dude that's causing you the issue or the problem with the shit, you would have turned around. You have to think about the fact that that dude would have owned, hell, you'd have owned 1% of the hotel that he didn't put no money towards, that you put the money towards, Billion. You know what I'm saying? Pocky sitting in, like I said, sometimes you got to sit and you speak to your dudes, man, and they, you got some people in your life that, they sit and they politic with you, and, they kind of come with the real, and so Pocky was just like, yo, I know you want to take care of people. I know you want to help people or whatever have you, but, he like, dude, you about to, enrich somebody, and at the end of the day, does the individual deserve it? This is the thing that you got to, sit and think about, Billion. Is the individual deserving? And then, the simple answer is that not for, the couple damn, dollars that they put in to acquire a software. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the thing, is that people entered into our program, and they entered into our program to acquire software. You feel what I'm saying? So it ain't had nothing to do with, with anything other than the acquisition of software. Our program, that's all it effectively was. I then turned around and I expanded, the program into all of the other things. I expanded the program into the business teachings and, and credit teachings and, hey, unifying together. And, I did all of that, in an attempt, because I sat and I looked at it and I said, yo, this is the Wealth Academy. I want to teach people how to, derive wealth, but, again, at the end of the day, there's no other software platform in the world that comes with all of the training, comes with all of the communication that Billion operating system, has. There's just no other platform. You know what I'm saying? There's no other owner of a platform, of a trading platform, that gets on live with people for 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours every fucking day, and sit and talk about and teach and show business. You know what I'm saying? There's no other trading platform. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've had individuals talking about some, well, we're gonna go to TradeStation, and we're gonna do some stuff over at, we're gonna put our money with TradeStation and use their platform. And I'm sitting and I'm like, okay, that's great. So you let me know when TradeStation CEO is gonna get on a Zoom call, get on a IG call, or anything else for that matter with you, and sit and teach you some shit with regards to their platform. You let me know when they gonna do it, because I want to, listen, I want to get on there. When they get on there, I want to get on there too, because I'd like to hear the shit. Because, if anybody done ever looked at TradeStation platform, that shit, you need a PhD in order to fucking be at a point of position of using. You know what I'm saying? You need a serious ass PhD. I looked at the shit. Listen, I know a lot of shit about trading. I looked at their damn platform. I was like, shit. Man, wait a minute. What the fuck am I supposed to do with all of this shit here? I don't, you understand what I'm saying? So, I'm just being 100 with y'all about the shit, and if you don't believe me, go get their platform. You go get their platform, you see that shit, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, Billion, I get it. I get it completely. So, so to me, like I said, I started this program out, and hey, I'm just providing software for you. You feel what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I sat and I thought about it. I was like, yo, let me go ahead and let me teach individuals, about the other areas, of business, if you will, because as you get this shit situated, you start making money. You know what I'm saying? And now you need to know what to do with that money. You need to know how to structure, your corporations. You need to know, how to be able to develop and cultivate trust. You need to know how to buy up businesses and do shit with your credit and so on and so forth. So that's why, I developed shit. But, the thing is that it's like, yo, you do one thing, you know what I'm saying? And then individuals just automatically move to a point to where they feel like, like you just supposed to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, it's just a part of it. I had one individual, let me tell you, that, let me tell y'all, he left the program because he said that I don't teach enough about corporations. Here it is. This individual got the most powerful automated trading fucking software on the market, and he left the program because I don't teach enough about corporations. Think about that for a minute. And you tell me, like, when you get stuff like that, that you ain't at no point to where you, if it was you wouldn't be like, yo, you know what? Fuck everybody. You tell me you wouldn't be like, yo, fuck everybody. For real. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody that hit you over the head like that. Then I had another individual. Let me tell you, I had another individual that the individual sat and said, I don't have enough time. He said the software is confusing. I don't have enough time to learn how to do the software. I don't have enough time to learn the software and the whole nine. So I immediately sat and thought to myself, like, if you don't have enough time to sit down and learn how to develop something that is automated, when the fuck are you ever going to have time for yourself? I'm just curious. I just, now, mind you, when people say retarded shit, I just go ahead here, man, go on about your damn business. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just sitting and I'm just thinking to myself, like, like, you ain't got enough time. You see what I'm saying? You don't have enough. If you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money. That is the very reason why you have to learn to do other shit. You can't continue to do the same shit expecting a different result. Call that insanity. Then you know who the worst people is? The worst people is the ones that have a little bit of money or whatever have you. And because they have a little bit of money, that them individuals is at a point where they just don't want to learn new stuff. And so let me tell you how this whole thing works in this world. Is that people that have a little bit of money, that they comfortable in their situation, what they actually are the individuals that run around and be talking about scam shit, right? Let me tell you why. Because with people that are comfortable, I want y'all to hear this ideology. I want y'all to get this shit completely down in your spirit. Hear what I'm saying. People that have a little bit of money that are comfortable, right? Those individuals, those be the main ones that go and they do the stupidest shit. Let me tell you why they do the stupidest shit. They do the stupidest shit because they're comfortable, so they don't make any kind of moves. They don't make any major moves while they're comfortable. They don't make any head rolls. They don't do anything while they're comfortable. Do you understand what I'm saying? You follow where I'm going with this, right? So then what happens is that something happens in the world. Something changes in the world or whatever have you. So their money starts to fall off. And then as soon as their money starts to fall off, then they start scrambling and they start looking for any kind of way to be able to flip some money because something bad happened. And so now they got to figure out how to be able to replace some money that they may have lost, that they lost a job or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So then what happens with that individual is they end up going into certain deals that are completely illogical fucking deals. They go into the shit. They don't even think about the shit. Or they think about it and they just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because the pressure, on the one end, the pressure is so great, at that particular phase or point to where it's just like, yeah, there's just the pressure is great. There's just no way that they don't, do some type of move, right? So then they jump in, they do that move, and that move end up busting them right across the fucking head. You understand what I'm saying? And now they done got bust across the fucking head. Now they at a stage where, I knew everything's a scam. I knew it was this and this and this and this, right? And it just because the individuals during the time to where you everything is great, that's when you're supposed to be making the moves to plan for shit being bad. when the shit is great, when you getting money and shit is flowing in other areas in the whole nine, that's when you supposed to be planning, you know what I'm saying, for shit to fall off. Cause if you do that, you know what I'm saying? If you do that, if you start planning during the time to where shit is great for the fall off, when the fall off happen, you already got that situation. It just kick in. It just automatically, boop, it kick in, and now it pick up where the fuck you was losing at, where you was taking them L's at. It just automatically kick in, and boom, it's already running. You know what I'm saying? That shit could be running in the background. Like, you know, a Scorpio, I'll throw you out there for a little minute. A Scorpio was sitting and selling some houses and so on and so forth, you know, doing her thing with it or whatever have you, right? So she ain't been spending the amount of time that she been needing to spend on the software and on the learning process. She ain't been spending that time. But the thing is that she still stick with it. You understand what I'm saying? She's still functioning with it. She done sold her houses and stuff. So now she done sold her crib. She doing what she do. You understand what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, I'm back. You feel what I'm saying? I'm back on this grind. Let me get this software down. Let me get this understanding of this business down, the whole nine, right? So it ain't like during the time to where, you know, where she was working on selling these houses in the whole nine, she was just like, oh, well, you know what? Fuck that software. I don't need no damn software or nothing to that effect. You know, that wasn't the thought process of the ideology. The thought process of the ideology is, okay, I'm working on this other area, but I'm learning, still my trading shit. You know what I'm saying? I still got that, you know, area going or whatever have you. And I'm going to be right back as soon as I get my cribs sold. I'm going to be right back. And now not only am I going to be right back after I got my crib sold, I'm going to be right back, and I got a little piece of bread to go ahead and actually do some trading shit with, do some, you know, get my credit stuff situated, whatever it is I need to do, but I'm right back now, and I'm back in it. You see what I'm saying? That's the ideology that individuals have to have. You find that balance. That's exactly what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? In business and life, you got to find that balance. Now, I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show you Don the boss, if he on here. I keep telling his ass to stop manual fucking trading, right? I keep telling him to stop manual trading. So what I was doing today was I had to test a bunch of different areas, okay? And as I was testing a bunch of different areas, one of the things that I ended up doing was, by mistake, is I ended up having a trade put in play to trigger, and it triggered wrong. So I'm going to call it a manual entry, okay? So right now, for shits and giggles, I'm going to say I manually entered into a trade. And so now here's why I'm sitting and saying I manually entered into this trade, because when I realized that the mistake had happened, I could have shut the trade down. I didn't shut the trade down. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't shut the trade down. I could have shut it down. I didn't shut it down. And the reason why I didn't shut it down was because I sat and I looked at the trade from a trading component, and I was like, oh, you know, I know exactly what this is going to end up doing, right? So let me tell you all this one key thing about trading. You'll never know what the fuck is going to be doing. Ever. That's why I keep trying to tell all my guys, you have automated trading software, fucking trade with your automated trading software. Stop fucking manually trading. Trade with your automated trading software. So let me show you what I mean by the fact that you'll never know what the fuck is going to be happening with the market. I should have shut this trade down. I didn't shut the trade down. I completely fucked up. Let me show you exactly what the fuck I mean. Shoot over here right quick. Right now, on this trade, I'm currently down $5,200. I'm down $5,200. Do you all see where this trade took place at? The trade took place down here, right? So that means it caught the very bottom of the trade. And now, when it caught the bottom of this trade, I looked at it and I knew, I was like, oh, well, shit, this thing will go down here and it's going to cover this gap, right? You see this gap over here? I was like, it's going to cover that gap. So therefore, you know, I'll just lead the trade. Fuck it. It's all good. You know, it's going to go down there, you know, and it'll just have entered early into the trade, right? Well, here's the fucking kicker of it, is that this trade has gone up $5,200 or $5,600 at this particular point, that this trade has gone up, right? So had I did what I was supposed to do, which was cancel that trade out, it would have actually taken a long, and instead of me being $58 or now $6,000 down, instead of me being $6,000 down, I would be $6,000 up, because the trade would have taken place right here, would have put me in a damn long. But no, when I sat and I looked at it, instead of being at a stage of just shutting the damn trade down, I didn't shut the trade down. And as a result of me not shutting the trade down, the damn thing has gone against me. Now, that doesn't mean at the end of the day that this won't stop, eventually turn around and come down tonight. As long as it don't hit my damn stop, we all right. You know what I'm saying? But my point that I'm making is that I keep trying to express to individuals that manual trading is for the fucking birds. It's for the fucking birds. Manual trading fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? Automated trading is the way to fucking go. Right now, if I would have let this damn thing trigger automatically, I'd be up $5,600. Instead, this motherfucker is $5,800 fucking dollars in the hole. Manual fucking trading sucks. So anybody that want to go to TradeStation,